Hello everyone! I've counted the votes, and the card you wanted me to talk about most is Thaddius. And of course we can't be talking about Thaddius without Stalak and Fugan.
It's alive! But you won't be for long.
These cards come from the Naxxramas set and can be obtained after finishing the Construct Quarter wing of Curse of Naxxramas. Stalak and Fugan, they have to die in order for Thaddius to come to life, to come into the game and bring the pain.
You die now!
In the lore, we also find Thaddius inside of Naxxramas. Once, the Crypt Lord Anub'arak, he led an army of undead warriors into the ancient Nerubian ziggurat, which we now call Naxxramas. The Scourge forces overran the citadel, and under the will of the Lich King, its corridors were transformed into a potent war machine. Dark magic tore the fortress from its subterranean home and lifted it into the sky. Hidden behind a thick layer of clouds, Naxxramas grew in strength. At the Lich King's bidding, the burgeoning wrath within the necropole was unleashed upon the world. In the Ashbringer comics, we read about Darien Mograine attempted to save his father's soul, for which he formed a party and they ventured forth into the dark floating citadel. Many of the Dark Scourge forces rallied to stop the invaders, and despite the best efforts of not waking up Thaddius, the creature, which seemed to be composed of the flesh of giants, it noticed the little invaders and was ready to eat their bones. One massive strike by Darien split the creature's head apart, but time passed on, and during classic World of Warcraft, we saw that the Scourge forces had regrouped, they had rebuilt, including their creature Thaddius. As heroes ventured through the dark halls themselves, they could hear the agonizing screams echo of the walls. Commander Eligor Dawnbringer at Winterguard Keep, he gives an explanation for each boss in Naxxramas, and for Thaddius, he says that he's built not from the flesh of giants, but from the flesh of women and children. It is said that their souls are fused together, eternally bound within that foul prison of flesh. The flesh of women and children taken by the Scourge and transformed into this hideous being. When you go through the Construct Quarter and you make it into the halls of reanimation, the screams are no longer there.
You are too late. I must obey.
Stalak and Fugan are standing on two platforms, and normally you would split the raid up and take them down one at a time, make sure that they die around the same time, and the groups, they will be teleported back and forth on the platforms. Moving either Stalak or Fugan from the Tesla coil, that would do insane amounts of damage to the raid, and upon their defeat, the next challenge would be the time you're jumping right to make it onto Thaddius' platform, where the real fight could begin.
Now you feel pain!
The undead flesh monstrosity has been charged with energy, which places a debuff on the raid. You'd end up with either a negative or a positive charge, and you were supposed to stand with those that had the same charge as you to increase their damage done, but to also prevent dealing massive amounts of damage to those who did not share your charge. This switching around is adopted for the Hearthstone encounter, where Thaddius' hero ability that will switch around the health and damage of the cards on the field. Thaddius, or I should say the spirits of those trapped inside, they thank us for defeating them. The screams are no more, and an eerie silence penetrates the floating citadel. May their souls find peace, and may none be mad enough to create another being like Thaddius. And that is all I have for you today when it comes to Stalak, Fugan and Thaddius. As always, I'll leave it up to you guys and girls to decide what card we're going to talk about next. So leave your suggestions in the comments down below, and who knows, your card might be used in the next video. Subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and until next time guys, see ya!